Quilty is brought to you by APQS, handcrafted quilting machines. Aurifil Italian thread, perfectly suited for all your quilting projects. Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Clothworks, inspiring creativity with art on fabric. Hovels Sewing, when you need to cut it close, choose Hovels. B&B, our fabrics, your lifestyle. Quiltology, the urban quilt space.
Quilty.
Hello and welcome to Quilty. Thanks for watching. Today is a guest episode and we are welcoming a very special quilt celebrity to the Quilty set. Let's take a look. Welcome to Quilty and welcome back, Marianne Fons.
It's great to be here, Mary.
I have to clap when you come on the set, Mom.
It's wonderful to be together.
Well, and it's a special day because it is actually, in fact, Mother's Day.
Nice.
Yes, it's early May. We're taping this episode in early May here in 2011, yes. Mother's Day 2011, and you're here, and I couldn't ask for more to have my mom with me on Mother's Day.
It's like it's our message. Sew with your mom, sew with your daughter.
Exactly.
It's fun.
And it's a big day too because this is the first episode we've ever done on Quilty where we're not doing an actual quilt block or a quilt project. We're doing a little something a little bit different for this special episode, and you've brought in a project.
It's a little departure, and I thought it'd kind of be fun, and I hope your viewers like these little projects too, but you know, I mainly make quilts with cotton fabric, just like you all are learning on Quilty, but a lot of quilt shops sell wool for wool applique, and quilters like little wool things, and you know, you grew up with little wool doodads.
I love it. We had these hanging sort of ornament things on the Christmas tree, on doorknobs, sometimes around the house. There weren't tons of them, but they were always so cute, like little
folk art heart.
Folk art hearts, yes.
So wool. I made up some folk art hearts.
I love it, and we're going to teach you to make one of these yourself today on the show.
And there's two ways you can go. This one that's to the left, you can actually open and you can put a little gift or something in there. And there's a type of wool product, a wool penny rug that are from the 1900s, and they had these little appliqué circles all over them. And these are with a blanket stitch, which is, I mean, sometimes you need a little hand project because it's sort of relaxing to have something to take along. Absolutely. And then this kind has a little stuffing in it, so you know this is the kind that you can hang on the tree or hang on
I love it because it's been such a long winter. I'm really drawn toward the yellow heart, and so I hope we can make a yellow heart today because it's springtime. It's like a May basket, a May Day basket.
You don't need instructions. You don't need a pattern because what I did was just take a piece of freezer paper and fold it in half.
And that's just freezer paper you get at the store. Nothing special, right?
You get a huge roll of it for, I don't know how much, it lasts your whole lifetime probably. And then I just drew a heart, you know, and I drew kind of I'm not going to probably do a very good one right now, but I just drew a kind of elongated heart, you know, just like anyone would fold in half, and then I cut it out, and I got a heart. I hope everybody can see
like
this.
Like a Valentine.
I'll do it darker. You know, and then you get a symmetrical heart pattern like that. So
and you can use your fabric, the scissors you have at your sewing table for this because the paper's so thin. It's fine. You know, you always taught me not to cut anything. You know, anything.
This won't ruin your scissors.
Okay,
good. Or you can pick up your other scissors. But the neat thing about freezer paper is because of the waxy side it's not really wax, but it's anyway. When you heat it, it will kind of adhere temporarily. So I've got this beautiful, and I don't want to waste my beautiful hand-dyed wool, so I'm going to go over to the corner, and I can just, in fact, I'd actually probably do it like this.
There you go.
And just press it so it adheres to my wool, and then I could either draw around it and cut that, or I could cut right around that and then peel it right off.
Now, you're not going to leave a seam allowance?
No, and that's what's beautiful is, you know, all our quarter-inch seams, this is one time where you just don't even deal with
need it. You're free.
Because it's wool felt, and it is not going to fray like cotton would.
Right.
So we would cut that out.
Right.
And then also, you notice that we have a little penny coin.
Let's take another look at this. Right. Yeah, there's this the little penny coin, the blue, and then this button, and we'll get to the button too.
So instead of making a pattern for that circle, I happen to have a little artist template, or you could use a spool of thread.
I know we're going to cut out of the blue, but just so you can see the little artist template, I'm going to put it on the yellow. Yeah.
Or you could use a spool of thread or a coin or just anything. And so for my blue, what I did was pick out the size. And for this, I even actually, and here's one where I've actually drawn. I actually, you know, rather than using chalk or something that was going to snag on that wool, I use this big fat magic marker because I can see that line and then turn it over. You're never going to see those lines.
That's great.
It's all very forgiving.
Yes,
okay?
That's nice. That's really nice.
So once I have my little heart that's the front of my project,
and your little penny.
I just kind of, and it's folk art, so if it's not centered, it's even better.
That's even better. It's got that rustic look. And I want to point out that we're using wool applique needles. We have some here. There's special needles for this, and they have they're pretty thick. And we'll get the camera to be able to get that. They're pretty thick, and they have a
big
pretty large eyes.
Because we're using pearl cotton, which is a beautiful thread with sheen.
Who's this
that's
broad?
That's me.
Who's this crazy lady?
But if you can't find this kind, it's a crewel embroidery. Not cruel like Cruella de Vil, but like Crewel. Yeah.
Crewel.
Okay, so the neat thing about putting the little coin on, and I might put one of my pins I think I'll just hold it with my finger, is that you come up from the back, and this is a blanket stitch. So
make sure Josh can get in there.
You can watch this over and over, or you could go online and just look up blanket stitch, or in any sewing book. But I've come straight up, see? Okay, and then I take my stitch, and I just make sure that thread is behind.
And you're going in just, what is that, like a 1/8 of an inch?
Yeah, and they don't even have to be quite the same because it's folk art. It doesn't matter. So see that locks that in. So I go around counterclockwise. The other people do it different ways, but once you get going, you just keep going. And all I got to do every time I stitch, I just come out right on the edge of that little dot, and I make sure that my thread is behind. I just go all the way around, and then I make a knot behind. So I get my little coin on like that. I made a little knot behind.
So cute. Okay. And then you join your two pieces together.
Right. I put my two together, and that's where and we can actually move that one. Because I'd put my button on next.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's easier to sew this when they're not joined.
Sure, you sew the button on, and you were telling me that when you buy clothes at the department store, you always get extra buttons.
I never use them for anything.
Not even one time. So you've got a lot of ladies have a lot of these extra buttons hanging around in a jar or in some sort of box. Well, it's a perfect opportunity to use one of these buttons for this project.
And this one is bigger than the other one I used, but it would be cute if you can get that.
Here we go. Yeah, this is a little bit bigger,
but it'd be cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
Or make your circle. There's no rules on this thing. It's fun. Okay, so once you sew your button on, because it'd be easier to do. Okay, and then for the project that's open, I'd pin it together here. And the thing I want to point out that's a little different when you're not sewing something onto something, you've got to sew around, is I'm going to start over here on an easy side, and I'm going to kind of fake it because I want to kind of like come up from the back. Because it's different than when you're sewing a piece to another piece.
Right.
But it's the same stitch. So I've got blue thread here.
Nice.
And I just make sure that
the
thread,
the slack,
the needle comes in front.
Right.
Okay.
The needle comes in front of the slack of your thread.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes if you miss it, you just pull it out and go back and do it over.
It's easy.
So
that's really nice. And so on this, the finished one that we're doing here is left open.
Right. So I had to sew across the top and then just start and stop, and then we made a little hanger.
A little bit of that, just that pearl cotton, just one strand. For one that's stuffed, and this could be a little pin cushion or one of those little door hanger things. You would just stuff it, cotton balls, stuffing.
Right. You got to stop and stuff it, and then go the rest of the way.
Of course. But this one's nice because it's open and you can put little gifts in there.
I can give this to you.
You give it to me, and then I'll give it to you for Mother's Day. But I'll put a little something in it for you. Let's see.
I'm excited, like a Nordstrom's gift card
or $5, which is what I have in my pocket. You can have that, Mom. Happy Mother's Day, and
we can go out and buy a cup of coffee and share it.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. There's a card
honey.
in here too.
Thank you for having me back as a guest. I had a great time.
It's awesome to have you. Thanks, Mom.
Let's go get some coffee.
I'll buy it. Thanks for watching.
Quilty is brought to you by APQS, handcrafted quilting machines. Aurifil Italian thread, perfectly suited for all your quilting projects. Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Clothworks, inspiring creativity with art on fabric. Hovels Sewing, when you need to cut it close, choose Hovels. E&B, our fabrics, your lifestyle. Quiltology, the urban quilt space.